Hey guys, I know I said I'd be doing videos every other day, but I figured I'd stop by and do a quick drive-by video. It's just a shave video. I am using a new soap. I'm using Soap Commander's Charisma. This is a melon and citrus-based scent. It's their limited release seasonal. It smells great. I mean, it smells like a fun scent. It smells like you would think, citrus, melon, fruits together. Smells great. So we're gonna go ahead and use that, and yeah, I'm not gonna beat around the bush too much. You guys will see my hot towel. You guys will see the post-shave routine, the whole 9 yards. I will cut out a little bit while I go change shirts, but that's about it. So here we go. Let's get into it. So I'm gonna go ahead and pour my bloom water in. All right, just to give you guys a little setup here. All right, we are using my Rudy Vey brush with a TGN 26mm 2-band finest, and we're using the Colonial General Brass with a Feather Pro Guard blade in it with 2 shaves on it, and bloom water's dumped. Here is we've got our this is my rinse water. This is a warm water, a little bit cooler than the hot towel water. So you guys will see how everything goes. So I'm going to leave this up for the entire shave. So I'll put a little bit more out. Let's go ahead and lather. Let's get some lather going here. So I hope everybody's Monday was good. Chad had a interesting travel. Sorry to hear about your troubles. Lord knows I've been there. Your story reminded me of when I had to go back to the States early last year, and they routed me through Heathrow Airport. And this is for something to do with work. So the company actually paid for it, and actually they routed me through Heathrow Airport and gave me an hour and 15-minute layover. Unfortunately, that also happened to be the day of one of those attacks. So, needless to say that the international screening for those who were catching, who had layovers in Heathrow, was horrendous. Very long lines. So here I am, I land. My plane was actually about 15 minutes early, so I had about an hour and a half to get to my next flight. Well, get off my flight and head over to security. Now, if you haven't been to Heathrow, you get off in one terminal, and then of course you have to go through, just like any other international airport, you have to go through screening before you can get to the departures terminal. So they have this one centralized location amongst all the terminals. So you go and you get on a train, go to this centralized location, go down a few escalators, and then I turn around and the line was incredibly long. Like, what is going on here? Of course, none of us knew that the attack had happened. So we're standing in line, and literally there's probably about 2,000 or 3,000 people waiting to go through this line. And I'm looking at my watch. Because you have to go through customs, and time is ticking down. And finally, I grab one of the attendants. I've got 15 or 20 minutes to get to my flight at this point. Because it takes good 30 minutes to get to this point. And I waited for about 15 minutes. I grabbed one of the attendants and say, hey, my flight takes off in 20 minutes, and I have to make that flight. And I did. And I did make the flight, just to cut the suspense. But they had to take me, put me in the expedite line, basically walk me through, and then it was a full sprint up, I want to say 5 flights of stairs, basically sprinting up the escalators, sprinting down the terminal, and then me and this one other guy who were going after the same flight ended up getting out to the gate just as they were loading the last people. So yeah, that's why anybody, if you ever fly internationally, I always say, if you have a layover internationally, make sure it's longer than 2 hours. Yeah, I think we're about there. So put that down. Yeah, it's nice and hot today. Hang the towel up to cool off, and then all this residual soap, you just go ahead and rub in. So now we're ready to shave. So put the brush up. One of these days I'll leave this camera up so you guys can see how I wipe my blade, how I clear my blade off when I'm straight razor shaving. Heat the blade up real quick. I used to use the big bowl to rinse, but the problem is I don't like getting a lot of soap in the water that I rinse my face with in between passes, so I stopped doing that and actually use a separate bowl for rinsing off the blade. You know, I might get the bulk of it off and then do the final rinse in the big bowl, but one thing with this razor is, even with the Pro Guard blade, so I do get my best shaves with the supers in this, but one thing I will say is that it's very, very forgiving on technique until you use pressure. This is, I want to say it's like 5 grams less than my timeless, so it's about the same, and might be more. I can't remember which one's more, but they're pretty close. There's like a 5 or a 6 gram difference between the two, and yeah, if you put in an additional oomph behind the razor, it will definitely let you know in the form of some irritation, or at least feedback from the aftershave or alum or whatever you use. I happen to use both. Today I'm just using a balm. And that's pretty much it. This does two things. It gets me to a spot where I've still got a great shave. Normally I end up DFS every once in a while. BBS minus. Right now I'm feeling DFS plus. If you're rating, this typically isn't when I rate a shave, so yeah. So at this point, take and dry that off. Do some arm strapping. That up. And now comes a little bit of the cleanup. Excuse me. Need to rid myself of a little bit of that water. It's a little bit full. One thing you guys won't see me clean up is the brush and bowl. I take that to the actual bathroom to rinse those out. So, one last thing. Okay. All in all, really enjoyable shave. So far, I haven't gotten to the alum yet. I don't know how that's going to treat me. Normally I throw it on much before this, but we forgot. How do we do? Nothing. Zero feedback. Not even the hint of any feedback. That's what I like to feel. Nothing. So typically I'll let it dry on my face, let it tighten the face up a little bit. Okay. 1 second. All right. So, sorry, I had to go change shirts real quick. So once, normally I change shirts after the alum, but I messed up my order this morning, which is fine. No big deal. So I take the same towel that I had, and by this time it's nice and cool, and I wipe the alum off. I take the opposite side for where the lather was on my face, and I wipe the alum off. Again, nice and cool, refreshing. Kind of gives you that last little pep wake up. And then a little Thayer's cucumber. This is normally where I go and change shirts while the witch hazel dries. today for balm, we're using the matching Soap Commander balm, and for fragrance, I'm going to be using a little bit of this, which is the Acqua Essenziale Colonia by Salvatore Ferragamo. So, yeah, that's pretty much it in a nutshell. I'm not going to wait for the witch hazel to dry off. The one thing I will say is I'm pretty sure that this, I haven't used this yet. I'm pretty sure this has menthol in it. So if you're not a menthol fan, it's not a lot of menthol, but there is little. Chad can tell you more about it. He has a lot of these. Yeah, I mean, typical Soap Commander performance. I mean, it's right there with Sterling. I have it ranked a little bit below Sterling, but honestly, it's right there. There really is very little difference between the two, outside of the fact that Sterling has tallow and lanolin in it, and this is a vegan soap. So, yeah, have a great day, everybody. You can find Soap Commander at www.soapcommander.com. I believe they still have their summer scents and limited editions in stock. Don't quote me on that. And come on by, check us out at Shaving Cadre, www.theshavingcadre.com. See you there, guys.